Hi, everybody. My name's Caitlin Hubbard. I'm a licensed professional counselor associate with Frontera Healthcare Network at their clinic in Fredericksburg. I'm excited to be here with you guys for this Mindful Monday over a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Before we get started, though, I want to take a moment to recognize our incredible partners, the Texas Wine Auction. Through this partnership, the Wellness Uncorked initiative was created, allowing us to share these Mindful Mondays with you. Not only that, but this initiative allows us to provide free counseling classes, health fairs, educational seminars, and more. It's all designed to support the well-being, especially the mental health well-being of our community. All right, let's jump into it. So I want to take a moment to look at this visual. There's an intricate connection between how we feel and what we eat. Research shows that our current state of mind plays a significant role in determining what ends up on our plates. Whether stressed, tired, or feeling down, we often gravitate towards those comforting foods, those sugary, indulgent treats, because they seem to bring us a sense of comfort. Due to this, we may get caught in this vicious cycle that we see here in this visual. An important thing to look at and talk about in regards to this topic is our brain. Our brains are always working, right? 24/7. They're an extremely important organ with a very high metabolic and nutrient demands. They oversee endless responsibilities, our thoughts, our movements, breathing, heartbeats, emotions, your senses. And since it's such a hard worker, it needs to stay properly fueled. Well, where do we get the fuel from? It comes through our food. Dr. Eva Selhub, a staff member at Harvard Medical School, says our brains are kind of like an expensive car. Our brains function best when we give it premium fuel. However, when ingesting anything but that type of fuel, our brains can suffer. She shares that multiple studies have found a correlation between a diet high in refined sugars and impaired brain functioning, and even worsening symptoms of mood disorders and depression. These are pretty serious consequences. Another important topic is our gut. Our intestinal microbiome includes billions of beneficial bacteria that help to produce essential vitamins when you don't get them through your diet. However, your gut will appreciate you if you aid in assisting them with the nutrients through eating specific foods. The good bacteria produces an essential, plays an essential role in your health by protecting the lining of your intestines, blocking out bad bacteria, limiting inflammation, absorbing necessary nutrients, and communicating with various other symptoms. About 90% of our body serotonin is produced within our gut. Serotonin is a very important neurotransmitter that carries messages between our brain and other important systems. Serotonin plays several roles in your body, including influencing your learning, memory, emotions, as well as regulating your body temperature, sleep, hunger, and more. The lack of serotonin is thought to play a role in depression, anxiety, mania, and other health conditions. So it makes sense that the inner workings of our digestive system isn't strictly just for digesting food, but also to help in the guidance of our emotions. I briefly mentioned inflammation on the previous slide, and this is a topic I'd like to look at a little bit further. So our immune system does utilize inflammation as a way to fight against foreign substances and perceived stressors. Foods can contain high levels of saturated trans fat, refined sugars, carbohydrates, and additives, and those type of foods do enhance inflammation. When you have chronic inflammation, you're susceptible to a wide range of conditions, both physical and mental, such as depression, anxiety, and other mood disorders, autoimmune diseases, certain cancers, and neurodegenerative diseases, as well as some others. Now that we've kind of made some connections between nutrition, our body systems, and our mental health, I'd like to focus a little bit more on the nutrition aspect. Our foods contain certain ingredients that aid in inflammation within our bodies. As you can see here, there are quite a few listed, but please just know that this is not an all-encompassing list. From this list, I'd like to focus on MSG. MSG is one of the most widely used food additives. The National Library of Medicine says that MSG has been linked to obesity, metabolic disorders, neurotoxic effects, and detrimental effects on the reproductive organs. Another ingredient I'd like to take a look at is the synthetic food dyes. Dr. L. Eugene Arnold, a child and adolescent psychiatrist at the Ohio State University Medical Center, shares that food dyes have been linked to making children and adolescents more irritable, hyperactive, which excels their symptoms of ADHD and depression. With all that being said, I urge you to just take some time to review the labels on your food that you purchase just to see if these harmful ingredients are present. Now, the ingredients are important, but there's another aspect I want to address, which is calories. When we think about eating healthy, your first thought might be about calories. Um, Calories are something to be mindful of. However, your primary concern shouldn't be that. It should be whether your food choices are nutrient dense or not. Nutrient density is defined as the amount of nutrients in a food in relation to the calories it provides. All foods contain calories, but not all foods provide nutrients. Furthermore, foods marketed as diet friendly or low calorie may be low calorie, but they don't necessarily provide the needed nutrients your body needs. It's also important to note that some nutrient dense food may be high in calories, and that's perfectly okay. So on this slide, I have some examples of some good mood foods, examples of the type of nutrient dense food as well as the nutrients that it would provide your body. I'll give you just a second to review it or take a picture of it. Some other helpful hints when purchasing food is to make sure you can buy organic when possible. Buy from your local farmers markets or farmers, and don't forget to wash your produce. The last thing I want to talk about is some mindful techniques to assist you. You could keep a food and mood diary. So let's say for 4 weeks you track what you eat and drink, but you also track your mood for that day. At the end of the time period you set, you review your data and see if there's any connections you notice between your diet and your mental well being. Another thing you can do is add or remove something. So, this simple trick is a great way to transition into a new eating pattern. You might choose to keep doing what you're doing after the test period has passed because you feel better. Then you just keep adding or subtracting foods to improve your nutrition and mental health even further. Meal prepping and planning ahead and shopping with a list are all great ways to keep you focused on your goals and why you're in the store. Also, helpful hint, don't ever grocery shop when you're hungry, because you end up leaving with way more than you initially planned for. I think we can all maybe relate to that. Another very important technique that I'm even guilty of doing myself is not eating mindfully. When it's time to eat, put your distractions away, your phone, the TV, whatever it may be, and just focus on eating. Sometimes we're too focused on that TV show that we get to the bottom of the bag of chips and didn't even realize we did that. Lastly, don't ever be afraid to reach out for help. There's so many resources out there, like your primary care physician, nutritionists, and a plethora of online resources. This can be extremely overwhelming topic or task, so it's understandable. Just reach out. If you're ready to take the next step in prioritizing your mental health, we invite you to attend our Thrive Connection group counseling classes, which are available free through Wellness Uncorked initiative. These classes will be led by Frontera's licensed professional counselor associates like me, and are open to individuals and their immediate family members working in hospitality, service, or retail industries. Frontera also offers individual counseling and medical services, both in person and virtually. We take a lot of different insurances and offer a sliding scale to make healthcare affordable. If you'd like to learn more, you can call us at 325-597-0102 or just visit us at frontera.org. I appreciate you taking the time to join me today and go over this topic. If you have any questions or comments, just drop them in the chat. I'd love to hear from you.